Alright, so we got another Star Wars vintage collection here. This one is the Battle Droid as it's seen in the original Clone Wars back in the day. The animated Clone Wars, not the CGI animated, but that movie that came out before then. So he's done up in the red there and looking pretty cool. And we got some of that animation there on the card. Again, love these cards. And we got some Clone Wars stuff on the back. This guy is VC216, and you can see he's got the cool little timeline of all the different movies and stuff on there. So we got that. So yeah, let's go ahead and crack this guy open. Alright, so we got him out of the package here, and we'll look at the accessories he's got first. So we've got the blaster there. We've got his backpack here. Little backpack, and then we've got another little piece that plugs into the back as well. So we'll pop those on here in just a second. As far as the figure itself goes, this is a really basic figure, especially compared to all the other ones I've been looking at. He has very basic articulation. You know, he's just got rotation on the arms and then the elbows, and that's it. Nothing at the hands. The head does turn, but there's a little bit of a ball joint, a little bit, I guess. He's got nothing at the waist. His legs just do this and then bend at the knees, but he does bend at the knees all the way up. And then, of course, his ankles bend here. Now, I know, look, with the sculpt and everything, with what you're doing with these guys, like, there's not really a whole lot that you can do with a figure this small as far as articulation goes. So, I get it, but still a little disappointing given how good the other ones are. And then I'll say the same thing with the paint. But again, I understand this is, you know, an animated take on the droids. I get it. But this is really, I mean, there's not much here. Let's be honest here. There's just not a lot going on here with this guy. Now, we can plug the two pieces here into his back. See, we got two holes there. So this one goes there. And then the backpack goes there, supposedly. No, I guess you can only do one at a time there. So we'll just put the backpack on him. You can't do both. So just the backpack is what we'll keep on him for now. And then, of course, he's got his gun here that we'll see if we can get this in his hand. And there. So, yeah. So we've got the backpack. We've got the gun. And there you go. Really simple figure. There's not a lot to him. You know, compared to the rest of the line, there's not a lot to speak of here. But, you know, there he is. So we'll throw him up with some other figures and see how well he does. He also doesn't want to stand up very well because he's very top heavy for those little legs. All right, there we go. Let's compare him to some other stuff. Alright, so first comparison here, we've got him lined up with the other vintage collection stuff that I've got. Well, some of it anyway. We've got Darth Vader, we got Migs Mayfeld, and then of course we've got the Mandalorian Super Commando. And I mean, he's just about where he should be, I guess. I would think he'd be a little bit shorter from what I remember than most of the human characters, yet he is about the same height as Migs and the Super Commando, but I guess that's fine. Whatever, doesn't really matter, but you know, he's, again, basic sculpt, not really any paint to speak of, so he does look a little more cartoony than the rest of them because that's what he's based on, I get it, but still, all in all, doesn't look too bad. Alright, so real quick with a 6-inch comparison, we got a couple of Black Series figures here on the right. We got IG-88, who stands very poorly, as most of the droids do, and then of course on the left we got General Grievous, who also very difficult to stand him because he's got fairly weak knees and ankles, and he's got a lot going on up top, especially with the cape. So both of these guys are a little iffy when it comes to getting them to stand properly, but it's a good size comparison. Again, we're comparing 3 3/4 to 6 inch, so there's a big difference here, but you could almost imagine this is a little mini droid in your Star Wars Black Series collection, and it might actually kind of fit in. And to pull the camera back just a little bit so I can get this thing all on screen here, we've got my AT-ST, my original, from 1983. This is an old school vintage one. And, I mean, he works really well with this. Again, 3 3/4 inch, so it fits in with the line great. Alright, so now we just got to talk about the price here real quick. And I got this guy at Walmart for $9.97. And I have seen some places online where he's selling for a couple bucks more here and there. But we're going to go off the price I paid, so 10 bucks. Is this guy worth 10 bucks? Honestly, no. I don't think so. He's really not. Especially if you're going to sit there and have him in the same line as all the other figures that are really, really well done. I mean, he's got the most basic of sculpts. He has basically no paint on him outside of the black for his eyes. And his articulation is that of a McDonald's Happy Meals toy. So no, this thing to me is not worth 10 bucks. I bought it because I wanted it and I wanted to do a video on it. And so far, out of the handful of figures I've picked up, this is definitely the one that I don't feel like I got my money's worth, to be honest. So, is this something you should buy? Well, I mean, if you already collect 3 3/4, you know, the vintage collection, whatever, and you don't have him, then yeah, you're going to want to add him to your collection. Maybe see if you can catch him on clearance somewhere, but at least I would understand why. Or if you're army building, again, I can understand why you want to pick him up just to, you know, get your display set up or whatever. But just as a figure, I would pass on this guy. To be honest, I don't think he's worth the money they're charging. Again, if you can find him on clearance somewhere, then maybe I adjust my tune a little bit. If you can find him for $5, maybe $6 at the most on clearance, then I might say, yeah, go ahead and pick him up if you don't already have one in your collection. But other than that, no way. This is a hard pass for me.